And we're back
Back.
with day 17.
Day 17
of the 39 steps.
of the 40 steps.
I have an echo in here. It's not a very good echo.
Echo. Microphone's gonna move because I dropped my phone. Now I'm gonna come over here and get it. Now I am back over here. Look at all this 3D surround technology.
Oh my gosh.
I'm over here.
Yay.
Now I am over here. Now I am back over here. To the dining room.
To the dining room. Click.
Help me to the dining room. Oh god, it's full of ghosts.
You find me in a deuce of a mess, Mr.
Whoa.
By the by, you haven't told me your name. Twiston. Twiston? Any relation to old Tommy Twiston of the 60th?
God damn it.
No,
Really?
No. Well, you see, I'm the Liberal candidate for this part of the world, and I had a meeting on tonight at Brattleburn, and that's my chief town, in an infernal Tory stronghold.
I can't take it.
I've got the colonial ex-premier fellow, Crumpleton, coming to speak for me tonight, and had the thing tremendously billed, and the whole place ground-baited. This afternoon, I had a wire from the ruffian saying he'd got influenza at Blackpool, and here I am, left to do the whole thing myself. I had meant to speak for 10 minutes, and now must go on for 40. And though I've been racking my brains for 3 hours to think of something, I simply cannot last the course. Now you've got to be a good chap and help me. You're a free trader and can tell our people what a washout protection is in the colonies. All you fellows have the gift of the gab. I wish to heaven I had it. I'll be forevermore in your debt.
Oh, you've got it. You can shut the fuck up any minute now.
I wish that I had the gift of gab, he
Oh,
said after
you've
talking
got the gift of
continuously for 45 minutes. I had very few notions about free trade, but I saw no other chance of getting what I wanted. Click.
All right. I'm not much good as a speaker, but I'll tell them a bit about Australia. Oh.
At my words, the cares of the ages slipped from his shoulders.
And made a mess of the floor.
Probably true. I collected Sir Harry.
He's very hairy.
He lent me a big driving coat and never troubled to ask why I had started on a motor tour without possessing an ulster.
The fuck's an ulster?
A driving coat. It's like a duster, but not.
Why do you know that?
I read a lot of weird things.
You read this. It's pretty weird.
That's accurate. Fair enough. As we slipped down the dusty roads, the young man poured into my ears the simple facts of his history, because really he had the gift of gab.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Sir Harry's childhood. Sir Harry was orphaned. Whoa now.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well.
I've never seen a child that also looked like a child molester before. He's got an adorable little house with an adorable little basement with a bunch of adorable little corpses in it.
Sir
Holy
Harry was
shit.
orphaned at an early age and was brought up by his uncle, who was a member of the British cabinet.
Yeah, read that as he killed his parents.
You're the worst. His interests are killing other people. He knew about horses and jawed away about the Derby entries, and he was full of plans for improving his shooting of other people. He'd gone round the world after leaving Cambridge, and then, being short of a job, his uncle had advised politics. But he had no preference in parties. He was Liberal because his family had always been Whigs. His uncle pulled a few strings and posted Harry in Tweeddale as the Liberal candidate, without any hope of him winning over its Conservative constituents. Which is probably good, because he wasn't going to, clearly.
He will with your help.
Yeah. I'm counting on it. Altogether, a very clean, decent, callow young man.
What was your name? Wiggins?
No, I'm,
Your false name?
oh, my false name was
That you just gave him?
Twigsby.
Twigsby? Twigsdale?
I think it's Twigsby. It was something ridiculous is what it was. And I'm not related to Tommy Twigsby of the 60th, or whatever his name was.
I'm pretty sure it's Thornberry.
The radical candidate.
The radical candidate.
Cards. Monoplane, I had that one. Oh yeah, there's the literary innkeeper.
Cedric Diggory.
Yes, here's my automobile.
Automobile.
The motor car, marvel of the modern age and now in mass production thanks to Ford and its Model T. Its 20 horsepower engine can propel this Tin Lizzie at up to 40 miles per hour. Just the thing for a helter-skelter dash along single-track country roads with potholes aplenty to dodge.
You're just ignoring Tin Lizzie then.
Sure, why not? Tin Lizzie.
Alright, you got Nigel Thornberry. Whoa! That looks like a Sid.
He does kind of look like a Sid. Sir Harry is a thoroughly decent young man. He stands as the Liberal candidate for a Tory stronghold in the lowlands of Scotland. His uncle, a member of the British cabinet, suggested that he follow this career, but fly fishing rather than dry debates is what stirs Sir Henry. Harry. Whatever. And then we continued on.
So far the story had been tedious and slow and mildly intriguing, but it wasn't until this episode that it got stupid. Wait, go back. Did you read you gotta read the synapse.
The radical candidate, Sir Harry's pickle, turns out to Henne's advantage as he makes friends in high places. You're the worst.
That's it, write it.
I'm gonna blame you anyway. Wow. Right then.
On to Sir Harry's pickle.
Pickle! The radical candidate.
And his pickle.
And his pickle. Tuesday, 26th of May, 1914, Masonic Hall, Brattleboro.
Drinking my water.
Scratching my foot.
Thinking about pickles.
Ignoring pickles. We lead exciting lives. That's like 4 months old.
Why is it here?
'Cause I get distracted. Well, we've pulled up in front of this giant house, and apparently we're going to sit in this car forever unless I click enter.
Pickle.
That's Shawnee's for enter.
It's an ickle pickle.
You're an ickle pickle. The hall had about 500 in it. Women mostly, a lot of bald heads, and a dozen or so young men. That's very awkward.
Why?
Because bald heads is not hyphenated, and so it makes me think that the women had bald heads. It in fact refers to old men, because all of the, I'm going to go with normal, contemporary men, whatever, are probably in the military, is I'm sure the point that they're making there, possibly at work, depending on the day of the week, it's Tuesday. But it still makes me think that the women have bald heads because of the phrasing.
I got you. I thought the same until you pointed it out. I was like, huh. There is 478 women here. Or 476 women here. And 24 young men.
The chairman was a Weasley minister with a reddish nose.
Reddish nose.
He lamented on Crumpleton's absence, soliloquized on his influenza, and gave me a certificate as a trusted leader of Australian thought. Air quotes. Actually, physical quotes. It's all print on the screen in front of you. Shut up! Don't judge me!
Judging.
You're so judgy. There were 2 policemen at the door, and I hoped they took note of that testimonial. And then I ran away! Then Sir Harry started, and I never got another word in edgewise.
Dear God.
Sir Harry's speech. He had about a bushel of notes from which he read, and when he let go of them, he fell into one prolonged stutter. Every now and then he remembered a phrase he had learnt by heart, and straightened his back and gave it off like Henry Irving. The next moment he was bent double and crooning over his papers. That's concerning. The German menace. He talked about the German menace, and said it was all a Tory invention to cheat the poor of their rights and keep back the great flood of social reform, but that organized labor realized this and laughed the Tories to scorn.
Organized labor.
Labor. He was all for reducing our navy as a proof of our good faith, and then sending Germany an ultimatum telling her to do the same, or we would knock her into a cocked hat.
What? What is it with this guy and pickles and cocks?
That he really likes chicken. He said that, but for the Tories, Germany and Britain would be fellow workers in peace and reform. I thought of the little black book in my pocket. A giddy lot Scudder's friends cared for peace and reform. A giddy lot Scudder's friends cared for peace and reform. That's a bad sentence. I don't like that sentence. I will rewrite it. In a queer way, I liked the speech. You could see the niceness of the chap shining out behind the muck with which he had been spoon-fed. I mightn't be too much of an orator, but I was 1,000% better than Sir Harry.
Sir A.
I simply told them all I could remember about Australia. All about its Labour Party, and emigration, and universal service, praying there should be no Australian there. I doubt if I remembered to mention free trade, but I said there were no Tories in Australia, only Labour and Liberals. And I started in to tell them the kind of glorious business I thought could be made out of the Empire if we really put our backs into it. They clapped about it. Altogether, I fancy I was rather a success. The minister didn't like me, though. Ghost.
I'd like to propose a vote of thanks to Sir Harry for his statesmanlike speech, and to Mr. Twisden, whose words had the eloquence of an emigration agent.
Is that a compliment?
I assume not.
A ripping speech, Twisden. Now, you're coming home with me. I'm all alone, and if you'll stop a day or two, I'll show you some very decent fishing.
I hate that man.
But he's got decent fishing. Back at Sir Harry's, we had a hot supper and then drank grog. The time had come for me to put my cards on the table. I saw by this man's eye that he was the kind you can trust, and thus ended my life.
Listen, Sir Harry. I've something pretty important to say to you. You're a good fellow, and I'm going to be frank. Where on earth did you get that poisonous rubbish you talked tonight?
Oh, was it as bad as that? It did sound rather thin. I got most of it out of the Progressive magazine, and pamphlets that agent chap of mine keeps sending me. But you surely don't think Germany would ever go to war with us?
Ask that question in 6 weeks, and it won't need an answer. If you'll give me your attention for half an hour, I'm going to tell you a story.
He's bad at secrets.
Yes, yes he is. I blinked no detail.
Shut up.
Blink, blink, blink.
Blinked no detail.
So you see, you've got here in your house the man that is wanted for the Portland Place murder. Your duty is to send your car for the police and give
Why
me
did
up.
that echo?
I
Don't
don't
think I'll get very
know.
far. There'll be an accident, and I'll have a knife in my ribs an hour or so after arrest. Nevertheless, it's your duty as a law-abiding citizen. Perhaps in a month's time you'll be sorry, but you have no cause to think of that.
He was looking at me with bright, steady eyes. Like a rabbit.
What was your job in Rhodesia, Mr. Hannay?
Rhodesia.
Mining engineer. I've made my pile cleanly, and I've had a good time in the making of it.
Not a profession that weakens the nerves, is it?
As to that, my nerves are good enough.
I guess I'll look at this knife now.
Next time.
Next time. When
So-
we return.
Real quick. I was thinking that they can't stand drawing people. They're really bad at it and have just chosen to draw 0 people into anywhere that we go.
Yes.
But on second thought, they're trying to do book in visual media form, and the main bitch about books to movies is that it ruins the characters for you. So maybe that is why they're not drawing anybody. So that you can still envision that everyone looks however you want them to look.
They draw them on the cards.
Well, then they are just cheapskates.
I was totally going with that until I remembered they drew them on the cards.
Fair enough.
So, we will return.
Or will we?